Hi everyone, welcome back to Road to Master. My name's Jacob. Hope you're all having a good day. I know I am. And today I thought we'd do something a bit different from our two rapid games. So first we're going to be going over a game I played in our league match on Tuesday, and then we'll be doing the regular rapid game, but we're only doing one this time. So a bit of context for the league match. Um, in our local league there are three divisions, and the team I am the captain of is in Division 2. We're sort of meant to be in Division 3, but due to some technicalities with the people that came first in Div 3 last season, who were not able to move up, I'm not quite sure why, we got moved up into Division 2 instead. Um, so our goal for the season is sort of to just stay in this league, which we're doing quite well. I think we're about joint third to last, so we're not really at risk of relegation at the minute. Um, Hopefully, we'll stay like that for the rest of the season. So this is a game I had on board one. It's a four-board league, so we have each team has four players. I was playing on board one against a young lad who's about 1750, so about 100 rating higher than my current ECF rating. And it's a good game. There were definitely points where I think I could have done better, but it ended in a pretty cool way. So I'll just go through this. We'll have a look at my mistakes, where I could have done better, what could have gone differently, and then have a look at the nice moves as well, because we're not always negative here. So we started off with the Scandinavian. I was playing black, and my opponent played the d4 line. As you know, there's several different ways you can play into it. Bishop check, knight there, c4, tons of stuff. Um, so I take. You can take with the queen here, which goes into more of the classical lines of the Scandinavian. But what's the point of playing knight f6 if you're gonna just take with the queen anyway? Which is my opinion. Um, so knight takes, and then they can do that c4, which sort of just goes into a boring line, positional line. Um, you can also play knight to b4, which isn't very good in the eyes of the computer, but it gets a bit tricky in some of the variations. But he didn't do that. He played knight f3. And after they play knight f3, you're meant to play bishop f5. And the whole reason is because you'll have this fork. If the knight ever gets kicked, you'll have this fork on the c2 square with the bishop backing it up. So they don't have, well, they can't stop it with usual means. There's a bit more pressure on the pawn. So that's what happens. And then they play bishop c4, which is a bit strange. I don't think I've seen that in a classical game before. Um, and they're just trying to add pressure onto the knight, really. So you kind of force here to pick a pawn to defend the knight with c4 and e6. I'm not quite sure which one's best. It's something I need to look into with my opening preparation. I picked c6 just because I think it's a bit more solid. You've got I'm not really worried about blocking the knight because you've got ways to get the knight into the game. Um, I think e6, the plans sort of change a bit where you're looking for the c5 break and you can get your knight out and the bishop comes out as well. So I think it just depends on what you like to play. I played c6 just because that's what I decided to go with on the day. Castles, simple move. You're just developing. You're looking to get the rook out with a pin, which I think is what he does shortly. I played e6 here, which is it's maybe a bit of a waste because I could have just played e6 straight away instead. But I needed to get my bishop out somehow. I don't want to play g6 and fianchetto just because then this light squared bishop doesn't have much room, and it can get quite easily kicked out. You're looking at this pawn, but realistically, if they wanted to, then they could play c3, and it's a bit of a dead bishop at that point. So I was looking at this and sort of putting some pressure on the king side, which I think is what I did. And then they played c3, which I didn't personally think was the best move, especially since I've sort of committed to not fianchettoing my bishop now. You're maybe looking at a c4, which is maybe better if the bishop ever moves away. Sorry, moves away. And then you've got a square for your knight as well. But it's definitely not bad at all. It's solid. It's very solid. It's just gonna result in I think a bit more of a maneuvering game. So I played knight b7 or knight d7. Sorry. Just because like realistically, where else is your knight going to go? I don't think knight a6 to c7 is really worth it. I like this diagonal for the bishop and the queen maybe instead of that. So b7 or d7, I think it's better just because you could go there or you could go there and kick out the bishop as well. Yeah, rook there, pretty obvious move. Looking for the pin. You're looking to take maybe if you can get more pressure on. Not sure how you would go about doing that. But yeah, it's just a good move to have. And I play bishop to d5 or d6. Sorry. I'm just developing my bishop there. I'm obviously eyeing up the king side a bit, but nothing immediately right now. And then I've freed up my king to castle king side if it ever wants to. A4 I think was a bit of a weird move in my opinion. I wasn't sort of expecting that. I mean, obviously my plan before that was to sort of expand on the queen side a bit, kick this bishop about, and see what happens. I mean, a4, I get that it's trying to stop that, and the computer says it's fine, but I don't think it's something I would play. Um, and then I go queen c7, so I'm definitely eyeing up the king side now with that battery, and now my king can actually castle both ways if it wanted to. Um, if we want to play a more slow positional game, then maybe we would castle king side. But I'm probably going to end up castling queenside just because I like castling queenside. It's a lot more fun, a lot more dynamic, and it allows me to just throw these pawns up the board at some point, which I am a big fan of, realistically. Um, so then knight bd7 or bd2, sorry. I wasn't a fan of. I don't know where the knight's going with this place. Like, I mean, it's probably going there, and eyeing up my dark squared bishop, but it's not really going on the queen side that much because both these squares are covered. I think for the knight, I probably preferred this sort of route, and then you're looking at that square maybe. You're looking at that square. I think it's a bit more healthier. But yeah. So now because of that as well, it's blocked his dark square bishop in. And that sort of prompted me to do my next move, which I'm not sure is the best move in the situation. But it looks quite fun. I played g5. I didn't fully calculate this all the way through. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Probably should have done, but it just looked fun, and I felt it was sort of my time to strike. Um, Especially after blocking in the dark square bishop like that. So the idea is if takes obviously, then you're getting this pawn, and you're opening lines as well. And if not, you're basically just trying to kick around the knight there, and then you've got room to push these pawns up as well. So I felt it was all right. Computer's not a big fan, but it's not a blunder. I always say blunders lose games. Mistakes makes games more fun. So I'm not that worried about pawn material wise. So it just makes things a bit more interesting. So he decided to go knight takes pawn, and then immediately just bishop takes pawn. And he decided to go king f1, which I felt maybe wasn't the best. I prefer king h1 because although you're on a semi-open file there, you've got a lot more room for your pieces to come across and help defend. I think it's a bit better, and you're getting your king away from the center, which is usually a good idea. But computer doesn't seem to mind it. It's a negligible difference. But I personally would have played king h1. I go rook g8, just kicking the knight about. I think using the open lines that I've got for the pawn, and then white decided to back up the knight with knight d to e4. Good move, I think. You needed to free up that dark square bishop, and that was the only way to do it, really. When you're defending stuff, you're threatening certain things as well. Like this square's looking quite tasty if this knight ever moves. Got forks going all around. Yeah. I didn't really know what to do here instead of bishop to f4, sorry. Felt like I probably could have put a bit more pressure on before trading things off. But I was worried about maybe that if I don't, or maybe the queen coming in and threatening things. So I felt like that was probably the safer way to go, if you get me. Um, and rather than taking instantly, which I thought he would do, and then I take back with my queen, he decides to go queen to f3, which was a good move. I didn't quite see that coming, I don't think. And it kind of forces me to trade things off. I'm not going to take this knight just because my bishop's too good. There's some tactics as well with the discovered pin, which I'm not a fan of. So I decided to take his bishop instead, and just get that out of the way. And then rook a takes, which is probably smart because he's keeping the discovered pin, which I think he uses later. But then again, do you like the rook there for the supporting of the pawn? I'm not quite sure. I decided to kick his knight. I kind of had to. There might have been some sacks or something here that he could have done, but I felt it's worth it just to get rid of that knight, keep it away. Where's his knight going as well? If he goes there, have I got some plans with open files? Maybe. I'm not quite sure. Um, and he surprised me here with this move. Knight to e3, and it's quite nice. It looks like it's sacking the knight, but he gets the bishop with the pin on my king, which is it's very tasty. So I'm kind of forced here to take rook takes knight, and after knight takes, I just long castle to get out of the way, and it's just an even trade. I felt I kind of had to long castle because anything else is a bit sort of scary. Um, so yeah, long castles. Yeah, I think he got a bit greedy here and took on h6. I was really happy with this because it gives me chance to get things with tempo, get a lot of tempo on him, and move my pieces and maneuver them around to benefit myself. So I take advantage of that and I go rook to h8. And it looks like I'm blundering a fork here, but there's, I think, a bit of compensation with the rook coming here. And then after the king is forced to go there, you trade off, and then you've got the rook there afterwards. And you, I think, win the knight back. Oh, well, you not back, you just win the knight for the pawn, which is quite nice. So he's kind of forced here to go back to g4. And it's looking a bit miserable for him at this point. There's not many squares for his king to go. My rooks are loving life on those semi-open files. So I decided to keep adding some pressure on. With knight to f4, I was really happy with this move when I found it, just because it's completely blocking off the king. The rooks will have to move to free the king. Even if this pawn pushes, my knight's still covering it, and I'm threatening some back ranks. So I think one of the only defenses here is to play g3. I'm not quite sure what the computer's saying. Yeah, the computer's saying g3 as well. Um, just to kick the knight away. But I found this really nice move um, of rook takes knight. Um, and it's looks like you're just sacking the exchange because after queen takes, but then you have rook to h1 mate because of this nasty knight covering these squares. So the only move here I think is g takes f. Computer's saying rook to e4 though, which is quite interesting. Um, what's it saying? Knight b6 afterwards. I don't know. I don't know. But the game continued. G takes f4, and then I think the better move is to take with the rook, so you're getting tempo on the queen. But I decided to take with the queen here instead. I felt like if the queens get traded off, the end game is slightly favourable for me, just because of how active my rooks are, and his king's sort of wide open. So I would have been happy with that. Um, maybe it would have ended in a draw, but I felt like I had the advantage in that end game. And then bishop to e2, which the computer thinks is a massive blunder. Um, I think the problem is you're boxing your king in even more. Um, and there's so many threats I can do. I played rook to g8, but computer likes knight f6 for some reason. I'm not quite sure. Uh, oh yeah, I guess you're protecting the knight. The queen can't hang because of mate. But I played rook g8. I felt it was nice just because it's threatening the immediate mate. I think probably the best move here is just to get the queen off and trade. Um, there's not much white can do here, and to prevent the mate, he went queen to h1, which loses to a really nice move that I found. I was really happy when I found it. Queen to h6, sacrificing a queen, um, and the problem is if queen takes, then you've just got rook to g1 mate. And realistically, the only way to defend this is queen to f3. But then after rook to h4, the queen's trapped. It's a queen for a rook, and that is where white resigned. I was super happy with that, finding that queen sack. Um, I felt it wasn't the best position from the opening, but I was really happy with the way that I brought it back with the sort of attacking initiative on his king. Um, so I was really happy with that, getting my rooks out onto open files. So yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, I think I played him once before, and I only just beat him. So I was happy with that. Happy to get some rating points on the board. And yeah, um, I guess let's go on to the rapid game. Okay, so we're here with the rapid game. We're against a 1625, quite lower rated than me, from the Canary Islands. It's quite cool. I haven't seen that before, I don't think. They start with d4, so we have a new opening because the other two have just been copies of each other. And against d4, we play the King's Indian Defence with knight 6. Well, we go for it anyway. That's if they play c4, which they have done. So I've just been going over my theory with the King's Indian, so this is a good time to test it out. So we played g6 here, and we're looking for the fianchetto. Fianchetto, I think it's fianchetto. I think some people say fianchetto, but it sounds a bit weird. So we go bishop g7 here. Okay, e4. What do we play here? Do you play d6? I think we do. They could. Okay. An anti-Grunfeld variation. Don't know what that means, to be honest. I think f3 is quite common in the King's Indian. I think we castle here, maybe. Yeah, castle and then look to play e5, I think. And try get this into familiar territory. Yeah. So we're in a normal variation of the King's Indian now. I think e5 is the move. I think they have to get their knight out or their bishop out at this point. Probably bishop to d3, I think. There we go. Okay. See if we remember our theory. What have we got? I think knight c6 would be the move. We're sort of trying to bait out d5. Okay. So they're not pushing yet. Now, what was the theory? What was the theory? That is the question. I think maybe a6 at some point. Could we also play knight h5? So the idea is to play f5 eventually and start a kingside attack. Problem is the bishop there. I'm not a big fan of taking that. Let's play a5 or a6. Sorry for now. I think. Okay, perfect. d5. We've got what we wanted. That's what you want in the King's Indian for a lot of variations. You want that push to lock things up, and then you're going to be able to maneuver your knights around uh, to defend things. Okay. So how do we get this file open? We've got to move the knight. So where do we move the knight to? I think h5 is the usual go-to. I know you can also go to either of these in some lines, but h5 to me looks a bit more active. Let's do h5. I think they might be looking to trade off the bishops with that. I mean, they could castle either way here. Ooh, okay. We've got a commitment from them. g4. Wowzer. Okay. What do we do here? I mean, we have to move our knight, really. We can't do anything else. Can't go there. I think we just have to go back. And we accept that they've weakened their pawn structure. Wow. All out. Can I play a h5 here? I don't like this. I'm quite scared. Um, oh. I mean, h5, we're looking at knight h7, I think. But then the knight's looking kind of dead. And then I think we play h5. Try stop the attack. I mean, if they push, I think we're happy. we're pretty safe. So I'll probably move my knight back to d7 if they push. And if they take, I'm taking with the knight. Like, no question, I think. It's quite strange why pushing their king side so much in the King's Indian. Okay, they take. So we have to take with the knight, realistically. And the knight's back to where it wanted to be, which is quite nice. Okay, they castle queenside. So I think here we kind of have to do a queenside attack. I don't want to weaken any more pawns, especially since they've got both the rooks open, looking at our king. We could go an immediate b5 here and try open up some lines. Or we could go bishop d7. But I think that might give them too much time. To do. Problem I see is going there and forcing me to take and then pushing that. I kind of want to get my king out to safety a bit. I want to get my king a bit more safe. Should we do that? Should we do an f6 maneuver and get the king, do a king walk to the other side of the board? If I could draw an arrow. That surely don't work. I mean, we could try it. Or we could continue with the plan of f5. But to be fair, it does things. Takes, I think knight takes would be the way. And bishop takes, then bishop takes. Let's go with that, because worst happens, we push f4 and then we're dead safe. They could go an f4 here, which would be weird. I think I take with e at that point. Or I could... we'll see. The problem I found with... Okay. The problem I found with learning the King's Indian is that there's so many different lines that each have different plans. So it's sort of hard to learn every single one. I think I take with knight, looking to trade off the dark squares. Yeah, okay. Is that bishop annoying? I'm not quite sure. Could I go bishop there? And then I can move my king up at that point as well, which is quite nice. I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm happy with that. Think queen takes here. I'm not against this position, to be honest. I'm, I, I like knight there. I think that's good for us. Okay. We've got to start thinking about defending now. I think probably king move. He gets things with check though if I go there. Hmm. Okay. I'm not a massive fan. I'm flip-flopping in this position. I'm not sure what's good. Not quite sure what's good. I think in the long run, it might be better for me, just because of how good my knights are. All depends if I can defend there. I think I might have to look at something like that in order to protect this pawn. And then I'll do something like that as well. I think I don't have any choice really. I need to defend this knight as well if they do a pin. I can't go queen there because of the discovered. They're using like no time either, which is a bit frustrating. I could also move this knight away and plonk my bishop there. Okay, they're going into a bit of a think now. Ooh, what? What? That surprised me a bit. I think that gives me too much time. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to take it. I think I continue with my plan of getting this rook in the game. And if they take, I don't think I'm going to take with queen. I think I'll take with pawn because they've got nothing there. Okay, let's continue. And realistically, all they've done there is block the queen in a bit. This is a battle, to say the least. You always get that from the King's Indian, though. Okay, they take. I think they have to take with pawn. I think we kind of have to. Am I worried about that? Maybe. But again, it's quite slow. I think king safety is maybe more important than a few pawns. Plus, if they decide to push that, then it'll open files for my rook. I honestly have zero clue what they're going to do next. It's one of those games where it's just chaos. It could genuinely be anything, including that. I'm not sure why at all that's happened. Okay, what is the plan here? Hmm. Do we continue getting our rooks in? I think we might have to. I don't know what that was for, unless it's the bishop wasn't blocking anything. Sure, whatever. The bishop wasn't blocking anything in, unless they're trying to get the queen on that diagonal as well. But my knight's solid there, isn't it? Hmm. This is confusing. What? What? I have a feeling he might just be shuffling because I genuinely have no clue what's happening. Genuinely have no clue. At this point, he's given me so much time. Am I considering moving my king all the way over there? Because that's wild. Am I considering a push of C as well? Surely not, because then they've got that. I don't like that. Ooh, have I got knight takes pawn? Have I got knight takes pawn? That's wild. No way I've got that. There's no way I've got knight takes pawn. Knight takes pawn, rook takes. Rook check. Bishop blocks. Rook takes bishop. Queen takes. Queen takes rook. What? I've got it. Whoa. That's wild. So, pawn, knight. Pawn, knight. I've got to calculate this. Pawn, knight. I think that's good. I want to do it, but it's so risky. Should we do it anyway? Um, damn. I'm pretty sure I just go up a pawn. Do I not? No, because the knight covers. Oh, thank God I saw that. Thank God I saw that. Oh, what am I going to do then? I spent too long calculating that. Running out of time. Could just continue with the plan. Continue with the plan. Running out of time. Spent 3 minutes on that just for it to not work. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That queen there. Yeah, I'm running out of time. Um, I'm running out of time. I want to move my king out of the way. I'm trapping this rook in. Oh! Let's start the runaway project. Let's start it. We're running. We are running. Hmm. This is quite scary now. I am concerned. Pawn there. Is that fine? I think that's fine. His knight's undefended. Where's it gonna go? We're running very low on time now. Let's take. I think maybe move there. Sure. Sure thing. 2.5 minutes left. I reckon he'll do that, maybe. At which point am I going back there just to escape that pin? I think I kind of have to. Oh, I don't like that. Wait, can I not just? No, no, that's stupid. Um, the, 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 the. I don't think that works. Oh, this isn't good. This ain't good at all. I think at this point the time's just too low. Time is too low. We're losing all these pawns, I think. Hmm. This ain't good. Surely queen takes b7's pretty automatic here, I think. Wait. Come on. It can't be anything better than that, I don't think. Surely not. Problem is all these pieces are just doing nothing. It's not a very nice position to be in. We are equal on material, I think. Well, for now, that's until he takes free pawn. The two free pawns, so I don't think I can defend the other one. Yeah. Um. Right there. Let's give it a go. Threatening things. They might not work, but they're things. They are definitely things. So what are we actually threatening? We're threatening there, 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 maybe. Stuff. Oh, good. Maybe. Rook takes. Rook takes. Rook takes, knight takes. Move the knight away. Just give it a go. Give it a go, that's all we can do. I don't like knight takes, just because you're walking into even more pins. Knight takes, knight takes. Okay, so we traded a bit. If queen takes, what's that doing? I like that. Well, I mean, I don't like it, obviously. Yeah. I mean, maybe we could pull off the draw of the century here. We just don't. We can't run into any forks. That's all. What, we down one pawn? We're picking up this pawn. He's picking up that. Problem is, this is quite scary for him. I think we just don't want to run into any forks. Maybe they'll mess up. We can only hope. The computer is gonna rip me to shreds after this. I can tell. Hmm. There. Defend my two pawns. Cool, that one pushing. I've got to get my king active. Oh no! Oh no. Oh, that's good. Why didn't I see that? That's so frustrating. No. Balls. Hey ho. We keep playing. We keep moving. Much that can be done. That's what happens when you're low on time, though. There are still some chances. I mean, not really, but we could at least be annoying. And if there's one thing I do best, it's being annoying. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Yeah. Maybe we're best to go after their pawns. Maybe, but it's unlikely. Not against two knights. We'll keep going though. Um, Keep trying things. That's all we can do. Looking for forks on pawns. Anything. Literally anything we can do. Um, Try harass these. Because I think if we manage to get the pawn, if we win a pawn and get the others off the board, then maybe we could draw. Um, if we don't get the pawn back, maybe we can sack the knight for the pawn. But I think he can probably stop it if they play it right. Let's just get in front of this pawn. Try not to get forked into trading off our knight, because then we might as well just resign. He definitely does have to be careful though, because yeah, because the knight on their own can't checkmate. But I think with the two knights, it could be something, especially if there's still a pawn on the board. We can just check there, I think. Move up there. We could also start doing that and be really annoying. There, there. How they cover. Let's do that anyway. I just want to get the king closer to these. Let's do that and then we'll push that. And then we're looking at actually sacking the knight for the fork. If we could do. This could be. We could do this. We could do this. Imagine we pull this off. That would be mad. That would be absolutely mad. I'd be so happy if we can actually pull off this draw. I mean, that just. So it does it. Surely. We've won the pawn back. And we were forking as well. Yeah, I mean, we can maybe sack the. Surely two knights can't mate. I don't think so. Can two knights mate? See, if we knew for a fact that two knights couldn't make the king, then we could sack the knight. I think there could be potential draw. Oh well. Oh, that does it. That does it. I'll offer him a draw. No, wait, what? You want to play on? Really? You can't be trying to flag me. I've got too much time now. I'll just keep going, I guess. I don't want to draw. You can't make me here. I'll just shuffle. Wow. Ooh, happy we pulled this off. Absolute train wreck of the game, if I'm going to be honest. Ooh. Just trying to be a bit careful as well. I know nothing can happen, but after managing to pull this off, I don't want to lose it no matter what. I mean, I don't want to offer another draw. He obviously declined the draw. I'll do it on my time, maybe. Do you want a draw? Maybe. No. What? I mean, as long as I don't. I mean, even if I hang the knight, like, is he going to be able to checkmate with two knights? I think that'll be tricky. Whew. Shows me I just need to top up on my King's Indian theory because I obviously know nothing. I just need a fork to finish this. Please don't make me do the 50 move rule. I'm not going to offer. It's rude to offer multiple draws. He can't even check me. He could check me, I guess. Uh, oh, come on, pal. Please. I think this is going to be a repetition. What is still going on? Come on, friend. More draw. Come on. You've got this, pal. Come on. No, you're gonna keep going. Oh, I'm gonna keep checking you. You gonna repeat? Nope. I could just run away at this point, I think. Out the corner. My knight's out the corner. What are you gonna do? You're gonna keep going. Man, I admire it. I admire it, I must say. Come on, pal. I don't think I've ever actually had a game go to 50 move rule, but we very well could see it here. Ooh, definitely wants it. When was the last move? Takes b4, takes g3, takes c5, 56. Wow. You are relentless, aren't you? So it'd be 106 if I can do basic maths, which I can't. Come on, my friend. You've got to know by now. The game is a draw. Oh, wow. You just don't give up. Repetition. Amazing. Thank you. Whew, thought that was not going to end. Let's do a quick analysis because that was draining. How are we looking at? Game review. Oh, he was winning. Okay, to the top. Oh, I actually had higher accuracy. Wow. Um, so book. Okay, so we're out of book there. 6 moves of theory. Okay. He didn't like knight there. Um, if you don't like knight there, I don't know what you like, pal. What are you saying? What? What? What the hell? Uh, oh, did you get a fork? That's weird. I dislike that. I dislike that a lot. That was the only time I had advantage in that game, though. Wow. Like that. Kick a knight. It's okay. Okay, what do you like there? Like that, yeah. I knew it was one of those. Let's move. Let's move. Yeah, I think that was probably too weakening for the king. Um, what's the best one? That's weird. I don't even know what it's trying. Knight takes bishop there. It didn't like. Probably a queen to e. Yeah, takes. I mean, there it didn't like either. Probably queen. Oh, really? Okay. There, there. Yes. Takes there. There. Perfect. Yeah, that was weird. I felt like it. Yes, it defended, but it trapped your rook in, and it stopped like king going back there. Knight back. Yeah, that makes sense. Because then you can take with the knight and everything's sort of solid. Take with the rook, sorry. Yes, it liked my running away plan. That it said was a miss. Oh, because you're forking. Yeah. Makes sense now. Oh no. Where have we gone? Oh, that's all the way too far back. There. Huh. Bishop takes it didn't like either. I mean, it's begging for knight there, isn't it? Oh, where? But you can just go there and you're fine. That's weird. Oh, because the knight's coming in there, obviously, yeah. Duh. Yeah, and that's just blundering right there. And that's just completely winning. Yeah. What was the move that messed him up? Yeah, I thought that was a mistake. You're getting your knight away from the game. It's just pointless. The knight's blocking that anyway. There's no need to put it there. Yes. That's when I knew I had to draw. And then so much shuffling. There we go. Whew. Wowza. Well then, shows you how much I know of my theory, which I think is a common theme along all of my openings, to be honest. But anyway, that's why we have the end game to fall back on. We'll call it there for today then. Thank you so much for watching. If you managed to make it this far and put up with me, put up with 30, 40 moves of nothing. Yeah, I hope you all have a good day. Thanks for watching.